had to be expected, right? With the new Avengers Doomsday teasers that Marvel just recently started dropping, as well as this magnificent teaser poster, you knew I was bound to make yet another poster for Avengers Doomsday, and well, that's what we're gonna do today. You absolutely don't wanna miss it, let's get straight into it. As usual, the process with making these kind of posters starts off with an idea and a sketch or concept, whatever you wanna call it, and this time it wasn't any different. This poster I definitely wanted to be more in line with the actual official teaser poster that Marvel just dropped, since the first poster that I made for Doomsday looks really different from the actual teaser poster and just looks really fan-made-ish, especially with the colors and everything. My original Doomsday poster has these really vibrant and saturated green colors, whereas the actual official teaser poster has more of like these desaturated green colors. Now, in my defense, at the time we didn't really know how the actual official teaser poster for Doomsday is gonna look like, so yeah. But now that we actually have that, I can finally make a more accurate poster to the movie, which, I mean, if you remember correctly, that was a goal that I set when I made the first Doomsday poster. So anyway, upon seeing the official teaser poster for Avengers Doomsday, this window pane type of structure right here in the Avengers logo really caught my attention. Which, by the way, I've read some rumors online speculating that this might very well be Doctor Doom's throne room or something, but either way, I just knew I had to add that somehow in my own poster, and upon brainstorming some ideas, I finally came up with something decent. So first of all, we're gonna have a similar ring type of structure similar to the official Doomsday poster, with similar window panes behind that will also act as a main light source where I can add highlights to all of these characters. Then in front, obviously, we're gonna have the Avengers, and finally all the way at the top we're gonna have a glimpse look at Doctor Doom. And well, with all of that out of the way, this all seemed like a solid idea, so let's get straight to it. This whole journey started with me adding the Avengers logo, which then by using the pen tool I masked out only the parts that I needed. I then did some rearrangements to the whole thing until we got something like this. Then obviously I needed to fill in this whole blank spot here, so to do that I kinda used a bit of AI. I know, I'm probably gonna get a lot of backlash here, and yeah, I could have also probably done this manually, but to be fair, this was the first time of me using Adobe's generative fill feature, since before this I've never actually used it, and I was quite curious to see what it can do, and to be honest, it didn't disappoint. With all of this ring structure in place, I then started by obviously adding all of the Avengers. A big difference I made here was using this image of Captain America, since if you've seen my previous Avengers posters, you might know that I would always use this same image for Captain America in all three of my previous Avengers posters. And to be fair, I was also gonna use that same image for this poster too, but upon finding out this other image, I just thought this one might work better. And yeah, it did. Also, I don't know why, but this image of Captain America just feels more professional for some reason, and I think it made the most difference. Anyway, I then added a bunch of more other characters from the confirmed cast of the movie, and since we've come a long way from the first Doomsday poster that I made, and now we've gotten a lot of more promotional material, albeit some of it leaked, that just meant that now finding decent images for a lot of these characters wasn't nearly a pain in the ass as it was with the old Doomsday poster that I made. Another good thing is that there's a huge chance that all of the images of these characters that I'm adding here are actually accurate to the movie, since they're based on some of the recent leaks that we got. And yeah, I think some of them are generated with AI, but as long as the suits are accurate to what they're gonna wear in the actual movie, I don't really care that much. Like I said before, my main goal for making this poster is to make a poster as close as possible to the actual movie, and if this is how all of these characters are gonna look like in the movie, then we're just a step closer to reaching that goal. Another important note here is that I'm only adding characters that are 100% confirmed to be in the movie from the Doomsday cast announcement livestream. So before you say, oh, but where's this character or where's that character, just know that. Also, you might be wondering why I didn't add Steve Rogers in here, since technically he's confirmed to return in the movie. And to be fair, I did think about it for some time, but eventually I just decided not to add him, mostly because we don't really know what role he will play in the movie, whether he's gonna return as Captain America America or whether he's gonna return to wield the Mjolnir as some theories suggest. We have no idea. So that's why I decided not to add him, even though I know some of you might have wanted to see him here, but you just can't have all the goodies, you know? After adding all of these characters and rearranging them, this is where I realized that I had forgotten to add the most crucial part, the actual title of the movie as well as the other text elements. And this is a bit funny since that should have been the first step, as I usually do, but I kind of forgot about it here, so yeah, let's just move on to the next thing. To put the cherry on top of the cake, I added this image of Doctor Doom all the way at the top. The good thing about all of this is that now we actually know what Doctor Doom is gonna look like in the movie, which I mean wasn't the case a year ago when I made the first Doomsday poster. Anyway, I ended up using this image, which I'm not really sure whether this is AI generated too or actually a leaked image, but to be fair, it doesn't really matter since even if it's AI, this image is definitely based on the official look of Doctor Doom that we got a few months back, so that's what we're here for. I'm also glad I found this image because it just worked perfectly for this poster. It's like it was meant to be. You can clearly see what a huge difference actual good images can do to your poster. I then also added this space image in the background as to not have the background be completely empty. After some trial and error, we got a composition like this, which I mean I was really happy with, and then from then on it was into the most tedious and agonizing part, the blending.
No, 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 no. Wait.
You know, fun fact, I actually tried experimenting by using the Harmonize tool that Adobe just recently dropped a few months back. And by the way, if you've been living under a rock and have no idea what the Harmonize tool in Photoshop is, it's pretty much just a tool that lets you blend two images together using AI with a click of a button. Now, all of that sounds cool and all, and I was quite curious to see how well it would perform for this poster, and it was trash.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
No, I'm not even joking, it didn't even blend anything. And I was a bit disappointed since with this tool I thought it could actually save me a lot of time and effort as it would cut out my blending process in half. But unfortunately some things are just not meant to be. I just have to suffer. Now on the bright side, this is kind of a good thing since that just means that we as poster designers won't be replaced. Well, as for now, so I can still continue making these kind of videos. Anyway, since the Harmonize tool failed miserably, it was back into blending all these characters manually by hand. So in other words, just pure torture. Now, if you've been following through these videos, you know what the blending part consists of. A lot of shadows, highlights, color correcting and other adjustments. And yeah, this part takes eternity, so it's just gonna be a speed art segment. Enjoy. Quick break from the video. Recently I just started my own Patreon where for $4.99 a month you can become a member and gain access to a lot of great benefits like having early access to all of my posters, behind the scene footage and work in progress shots, fan requests where you can submit your own poster ideas and I turn them into reality, and the most important one, having full access to the PSD files of all of the posters and other projects that I make from here on out. That is something that you guys have been requesting for months now, so by becoming a member to my Patreon you can gain full access to that. If all of that sounds cool and all, then consider yourself becoming a Patreon by clicking on the link in the description below. Now back to the video. after a couple hundred years of blending, I was finally done with. And yeah, there was still a lot of more work to be done with these characters, but for now, the most important and hardest part was done. This is also where I got way too excited and couldn't resist the urge not to add some bright glows behind these characters, and well, that's what I did. This is the part that makes the most difference, for the better. I'm telling you guys, if you don't know where to take your posters or artworks, just add some glows and watch you do the magic for yourself. I also experimented with adding these lance flares around the ring structure, but by the end I wasn't really sure of it, so I ended up removing them in the end. Another important thing which I did here was adding those same window panes behind Doctor Doom that would also act as a nice light source. And don't even ask me why I did that. It was a last minute decision and I just thought it could work, and well, it did. In fact, it quite improved the poster. This is also where I made arguably the best decision. I decided to add some light rays shining through the ring structure. Obviously the main reason why I did that is because the actual official teaser poster for Doomsday also has a lot of light rays shining through it. So yeah, I just knew that was a necessity to add in my own poster. With that out of the way, I then decided to add some cracks in the actual ring structure to make it look more weary and battle worn. Now, just like with the light rays, I also did this because the actual official teaser poster for Doomsday also has a lot of cracks and worn out textures if you zoom in closely, so that's why I decided to add that. And yeah, this ended up being a great decision since it overall added some great detail and depth to the whole thing. Another important thing that I did here is, just like in my first Doomsday poster, I added this castle in the bottom as a reference to obviously Doctor Doom's castle and Latveria. In the end, this was gonna be more of a silhouette and subtle detail, but this is what makes this poster special. When you actually zoom in and start to notice the small details and Easter eggs, it really makes you go, wow, I didn't notice that before. I did also add some mountains on the other side of the poster, again as a reference to Latveria. And yeah, I did pretty much the same blending to it as I did with the castle, so let's just move on to the next thing. At this point, it was pretty much the beginning of the end. This is the part where I add the final little touches like lance flares, glows, overlays, and those kind of things. And lastly, I added the camera filter, which makes everything 10 times better, and well, here I present to you the Avengers Doomsday Poster, the new version. Let's address the elephant in the room first. Is it better than my old Doomsday poster? And well, to that I think we can all agree to yes. My old Doomsday poster isn't bad by any means, but looking back at it now, especially with all of the official material that Marvel has dropped for the movie, it just feels outdated. I also don't really like the vibrant colors of it, it just makes it look really ugly, and nothing close to the actual official teaser poster for Doomsday. My new Doomsday poster, in the other hand, is better in every single possible way. Not only it's more accurate to the movie, but the actual colors of it are more in line with the actual official teaser poster for Doomsday, which I think it makes it look more official and better. Also, the images that I've used here are 100 times better compared to my old Doomsday poster and are on much higher quality. Now, I also made another version of this poster with a white logo since, I mean, why not? But as usual, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Which Doomsday poster do you like more and why? The old one or the new one? And yeah, with all of that being said, I guess that wraps this video for today. If you guys have enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.